Dear Venerable Sisters and Brothers, Dhamma friends, today also we are going to start our question and answer session, or common interviews in other words. So we'll invite Lakshmi to present the already written questions to start the session, please.
Thank you, Venerable Sir. We have mostly questions on walking meditation, on sitting meditation, maybe about 4, and a few questions on walking meditation. We have a total of 7 questions. The 7th question is very complex, so if we can get to it, we'll try and get to it today. Otherwise, we'll postpone it for tomorrow, because I spent an hour with the person and it's a little tough. Okay. Question on sitting Anapanasati. Most Venerable Bhante, my primary object is the in-breath and out-breath. I noticed that my breath goes from gross to subtle breath. I can feel the breath entering my nose and feel warm air leaving the nose and hitting the top part of my lip. The breath gradually becomes soft and fades away, even though my mindfulness is strong. After this happens, my breath disappears. After a few moments, I feel bored because I can't sense my primary object. How can I endure boredom in my meditation? Thank you. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you.
What is the question? How can
I endure boredom in my meditation?
So this is the question is well pointed and knows it's a boredom and how to endure. The simple answer is go prepared. That boredom is an early sign of plunging into the object. It's an early sign of changing meditation from concentration to wisdom. So if you are wise enough, you have to endure. Otherwise you can jump to the frying pan to the fire. That is what it happens. So therefore, as far as the question is very precise and directed, answer also very precise and directed, and not overnight. Again and again you have to go prepared. This is the point where you change from unwise attention to the wise attention. Traditional reflection to the radical reflection. So that is up to you. Or otherwise you can come back and entertain this utter suffering on the earth, on the world. So if you wish, you can go through this boredom and then you find walkover. In my terminology, I call it a walkover. No competition, you are the winner. So if you wish to come here and fight, react, assuming, that is what you call bloody samsara. That is what you call bloody earthly living. Beyond the other side of the boredom, no one, everyone they are very mindful and minded their own business. This side, always fighting. Parents are fighting each other, parents are fighting with children, doctors are fighting with patients, and the kings are fighting with the subject, and subject fighting each other, kings are fighting each other. So beyond there, walk off. So therefore go prepared. Each time you face it, kind of a maturity, kind of an immunity, kind of a catalytic effect is there. So go prepared. Thank you for this precise answer, question.
The next question is on Here Now I Am. Theruvan Saranai, Most Venerable Bhante, being aware of the body postures while seated, walking and lying down, being aware of the common characteristics of the body, feelings, thoughts, sounds and tastes. Neither embrace them nor repulsion. Just aware of what is happening within. Awareness was present when nothing was happening. No tension or stress. Happiness is present. Greatly appreciate your valued advice. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you.
So it is not a question, it's just a statement.
I think she would like advice on how to progress.
No, this is what you call progress.
Okay.
Don't disturb the trend. Don't disturb the background or the variables. Just give the same thing. Same feeding, same kind of sleeping, same kind of bathing, and just run it. And then few days time you will understand the mind is growing. Don't rush. Don't be smart. This is progressing. Only you have to facilitate it by not disturbing it, but by not complicating it, by not being smart. Just be innocent. Just be simple and honest. Straightforward. It is happening. Don't let other variables mix and disturb. Facilitate so that you may get background or the variables fixed. So progress will be happen.
The next question is a sitting meditation report. Sitting comfortably cross-legged. Breath is still reappearing as a slight vibration. I'm sorry, I'll reread that. Breath is still reappearing as a slight vibration. Face covered with a stinging feeling. Sudden rise and fall of abdomen 3 times. Feeling of bubbles bursting inside the upper left arm. Body vibrations in 2 types, sideways and around. Tightness felt in the forehead, tingling around the mouth, legs feeling numb. Decide to get up. Decide to get up. So that's a report.
So when you continue to practice, you will see this numbness, the vibration, the stillness, this movement, stiffness, tension, everything is, all the thing, nothing but the same. So, same energy, you give different names. So, sometimes you feel my head is vibrating, arm is being upped, or other part is cool and calm and vibration like, but it is exactly the same energy. So you give attribute to your parts and partial of the body and just see this energy, this kind of different manipulation and manifestation of the energy, yes, but the same energy, that energy do not know whether it is a male or female. That energy do not know whether you are a young, old or sick, or the medium, learned or not. This energy have no intention. Unless otherwise you attribute, you think vibration is better than the stillness, or vibration is better than the numbness like, they are there. So if you can observe them at a distance and see that is the day you are going to understand the cause and effect relationship. They have their own universal law. If you are going to put your interpretation, you are disturbing the universal law and your interpretation is utterly wrong. So there is no necessity, no one is asking your interpretation. Interpretation is what you call the storytelling. That is called the fabrication. That is called the mental proliferation. And ultimately you attribute myself means my mental proliferation. Myself means my interpretation. Myself means my fabrication. So the Buddha says all the fabrication, this proliferation and this storytelling coming out of wrong notion, wrong perception. So observe it. Now it is now boiling down to the same thing. The vibration as well as the stillness, the numbness and the tingling sensation. They are exactly the same. Oh, we can see the same source. but different manifestations. Unless otherwise you give names or perception or labeling, ultimately they will boil down and say this is what you call existence. This is what you call just being. This is what you call summairi in Tamil. Just be. They come and go, you are giving just the stage and observe it, but you can't because you assume. This is good, this is bad, this is auspicious, this is non-auspicious, this is healthy, this is unhealthy, this is pain, this is pleasure. Soon you put there, you get hooked up or you get committed. So try as much as possible, at least split second, not to get committed. Just like you are sitting on the bank and dry area and see river is flowing. Just be seated on the dry land, dry bank and see. The simple question is, what will happen if you fork your finger into the river? You will get wet. River will get disturbed. Or the turbulence may start. If you put your leg, exactly. So there is another option. The Buddha says, you can just be and observe the river. It is flowing. So this is called in English sometimes as unassuming, or not giving interpretation, just observe. I know it is impossible in the socialized way or in the outside world. So therefore, at least in sitting, ask the body to mind its own business. Just observe it. Mind your own business means don't put any intentional or volitional thing. Just let body to be and observe it, how long or how far you can be friendly with your body and let it happen. Then you may find some kind of a connection in walking, because there is no such a task force. There is no timing there. You just walk up and down and let the body to walk and observe it. And when you are brushing your teeth, when you are washing your dishes, when you are taking a bath, just observe how the body is working. It knows everything. So you feel you are like a caretaker, the body is taking care about everything, and there you find this kind of observation make no repercussions, but little bit boring, little bit monotonous, no dramatic, no fighting in the film. So it is not so, you don't feel like paying and observing it, because it is just like a cinema, not like a film. So the Sigmund Freud, he once mentioned, the sick people, mentally sick people is hysteric level of trauma, they call they are mentally ill. The best he can do, what the Sigmund Freud is, to make it to a day-to-day unsatisfactoriness. That is what you call the counseling. That is what you call the free association. So you have to accept the day-to-day unsatisfactoriness. Otherwise you will go in traumatic level, in hysteric level, trauma in hysteric level. So why can't you accept the day-to-day unsatisfactoriness? Then you can see everyone is in the same boat. So all the vibrations and everything is an indication they can't rest. They are always agitated, impermanent. They are a vibration, they are like a flux. So just observe a flux in a very still mind. Don't claim this flux is me, mine or myself, but you are utterly observing, diligently observing, vigilantly observing, observing as long as possible, and when you are impossible, mind will withdraw, no problem, and again apply, and that day you may find this stillness and the vibration are the same. The numbness and the tingling sensation are the same. And they are two polar apart, but the same energy. And even if you recognize that energy, unmanifested energy, don't claim as me, don't claim as mine, don't claim as myself, or disavow, or disclaim it, and then you find you get the walkover. No fighting, no tension, things are happening. Ready? Ready for the next question?
Sitting meditation. Soon after a walking meditation session, I sat down, start watching my breath. First, it will be rising and falling, but after a few seconds, the concentration sets in on the breath. At the beginning, thoughts creep in, but soon the breath settles in. Able to watch the breath without thoughts creeping in. Vibrations, stiffness, itching, feelings, hotness are felt. At times, I feel a freezing point, but I can hear the outside noises, but do not get disturbed. Much merit to you for all the guidance. May you achieve your spiritual goals in this life itself.
Same to you. And exactly the same thing I have to mention, what I have mentioned for the previous one. And this appear little better off than the early report. So therefore, preparedness is there more than the previous person to see the different manifestation of the same energy. So more and more you go there, it will converge into say, it's a continuation. It's just like a electric force happening and manifest in number of ways. Just see, this is a common character. It's impermanent. And looking at it itself is suffering. So feel bored. So that means you are two things achieved. Impermanent and suffering. And last thing to achieve is not me, not myself. Those three things achieved. So this is the first answer for the first person. It's asking whenever the boredom happens, see now two things are okay. If you wish to see the third one, ultimately this boredom also not me. It's not mine. But you have to go through it. For that you must have faith, you must have energy, the mindfulness, concentration and the wisdom, just to go through it. Okay?
Dear Bhante, during walking meditation, awareness is on the body, emphasizing the soles of the feet. Thoughts arise and cease, becoming a secondary object of awareness. After a few rounds, a visual perception of light everywhere arises, becoming another object of awareness. Awareness then slides between these three objects. After about 30 minutes, awareness expands beyond the body. There is a sense of touching and tasting, the concrete pillars, the plastic ventilation, the metal windows and roof. Then there is a sense of two bodies walking, one physical and one mental, slightly out of touch. Renewed awareness on the body synchronizes them again with mindfulness.
In the center, middle of the essay, it says three things, three objects. Can you...
Yes, sir. The first one is the body, emphasizing the soles of the feet. The second one is thoughts that arise and cease. The third one is visual perception of light everywhere.
So we can say the body's sensitivity, thoughts and light.
Correct.
Yeah, so that means that when mindfulness is sets in, you set in with one particular object or one variable in the sense. So we leave aside all the unwanted variables and focus on the body. And then while you are observing, the gate crasher comes or the unexpected visitor comes, the thinking. Okay, still you can see, can you still be aware that I am walking, not sitting, that I am on the left leg or right leg. So that means the thoughts are there, but it's not in an unbearable level, not in a damaging level, so you can keep it there. Of course, it's an achievement. Because the thoughts are there, but it's no accident, you can run. You can drive straight. And then the light perception, of course, one person may say thoughts are distraction, the light perception is a blessing. No, it's also another distraction. And now three things are there. Still you are driving. Maybe some more traffic coming. Still you are driving. And what will happen if that accident happens? Maybe the other party is coming and hit you, but according to Sri Lankan law, you have to pay 2,500 rupees because you have not avoided the accident.
8,000.
Sorry. Now government is improving. We are very improving. Earlier it was 2,500, now 8,000 because you would have avoided. You have not avoided. But the other person is coming and hitting. So it is your business, and other person also have to pay 8,000. You innocence, still you have to pay. So therefore any accident 8,000. So people are coming. You can see even the alligators are on the way. And cows are there, dogs are there, people, vehicles, everything. In Sri Lanka, it's a multivarious treatment. And if you accident, that is your mistake. So one variable, two variables, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is what you call the development in the meditation. We'll try to live in the vicissitudes of the world, but unshaken. So therefore leave it or keep it only one object at a time as far as the mindfulness gain the ground. Mindfulness becomes sustainable or mindfulness becomes steadfast. And when it is happening, other variables come. So it's a kind of acid test or homework for you, and see how many variables you can handle, and don't worry. When and where you feel scattered or disturbed, perplexed, see where your accessibility to the primary object, your closeness to the primary object, or seen through the secondary object, and if you can see the primary object, still mindfulness is intact. And that mindfulness is, according to my calculation, maybe I am wrong, is much versatile, much diversified. So much of things are happening. So I give my example. My mother got the first child, second child, third time, the 9th. Now after 2, still 2 sisters. Imagine the mother. If you fellows are going to happen that, how many the ayamma, how do you call it? Caretakers and the people necessary. How many people for your assistance, cooking, housekeeping, nothing. When the Venerable Dhammika came to our house, and mother can't speak English, of course, he told, I wish to see your mother. I told, I am very proud to show. And she went there to the kitchen and found, where is the dishwasher? Where is the dryer? Where is the washing machine? Nothing. 11 children. Only single mother. And father also completely whole day earning money, doing tiring and toiling. I have 6 sisters, not a single one can do it. There's the improvement in the second generation. They are always asking assistance. They are always asking this and that and that. My mother never taught. She has gone on to grade 2. But practical example. So, more than her words, it is communicating. We have so much of capacity. Mindfulness, it can tackle the whole world. Even you can become Samma Sambuddha or omniscient, omnipotent, the omniscient knowledge. But if you are complaining, when the thoughts are there, I can't walk. Or when the thoughts are there, I can't be aware that I am walking. Or if thoughts are there, it is a distraction. That means you are not happy to diversify. You are not happy to go in multitude of the mindfulness. And then light happens. Again, you either be happy or unhappy. It make a kind of a repercussion. And then again the moods can happen, the birds can sing, and pain can happen. But still mindfulness can. I am telling it is possible. So have this, the positive thinking, let anything happen, but if you know, as far as I am walking, I am not sitting, I am not sleeping, I am not standing, I am walking, that's all. Verify that, and then other thing will be sorted out accordingly. As far as you are keeping the attention of the arrowhead formation in the tip end, others will organize naturally. But always keep first thing first. Keep the primary object as much as possible, but later I will specifically or categorically, I would like to say, once the confidence happens, all the objects become same. Not necessarily to give the primary object. Primary object you have to give priority till your confidence develops. When the confidence comes, you can say primary object, thought, light, everything in the same. Nothing specific, and you can just be aware. And still the mindfulness can find the equilibrium. So therefore this is a very good kind of a presentation, 1, 2, 3 way. But this is not the way it is happening. It is happening in bulk, in the bunches. Whatever may be. The Buddha in a way he mentioned, mindfulness is so powerful than any distraction. It is so powerful than any distraction, so therefore let the distractions come. It will literally give some kind of a shaking, but again you can see mindfulness established. For example, if you take compass and indicator is magnet, whatever the shaking you are going to give, whenever no shakes, it is go to the north. And again you can shake it. And whenever you stop shaking, it is gone to the north. It is nature. So likewise, the mind is having capacity. So till it happens, you may not believe it is fair enough. But I am telling you that what is the one the Buddha says, have positive thinking or positive attitude. Mindfulness, if possible with one object, it is possible for 2, possible for 3, 4, 5, 6. And then versatility increases. So sometimes quality also increases. Have the second child. Have the third child. But if you are in China, you are in trouble. They won't allow to more than 2. And if you are a Muslim, you will be very happy. And if you go to the family organization bureau, they will not be happy more than 3. But have children and then you become a mother. Shall we go to the next?
This is on walking meditation. Dear Bhante, I'm sorry, that's the one I just read.
You get mixed up.
Yes, I hadn't set it aside. The next one is also on walking meditation. Swamin Wahansa, it is in Sinhala. I will read it in Sinhala, and we have translated the question into English so that the others also understand it. Gauravaniya Swamin Wahansa, Sakman Bhavanawa Pilimbandavai. Swamin Wahansa, Mama Sakman Bhavanawa Karanne, Vama Dakuna Saha Osavanawa Tabanawa Yanuveni. Vinadi Kipayak Sakman Karna Vita, Hitenne Mala Miniyak Ehata Mehata Osavagana Yanawa Vage. Me Shaririya Pilimandava. Samhara Vita Sakman Kirimata Mali Bavak the Daninneya. ඒ කියන්නේ එපා වීමක්. මෙය විනාඩි 15ක් පමණ වේ. මෙය විනාඩි 15කින් පමණ වේ. තෙරුවන් සරණයි. In English, Dear Venerable Sir, left, right, I do walking meditation, left, right, lifting, placing. After several minutes, it feels as if a corpse is walking, lifting and placing. Sometimes I feel a lethargy and a discontentment. Please advise. This happens after about 15 minutes.
So this is the early part is your meditation, or rather mindfulness is some materiality, the lifting, moving, dropping, touching, hardness, stiffness, tension. So 15 minutes it goes, we have to assume it like that. And then the mental part arises, liking, disliking arises, lethargy, and then discontent. So are we ready to go for the materiality, the mentality and still be mindful? or just taken for a ride, as lethargy come and pull you aside, or boredom come and pull you aside. So if you are not going prepared, you will be more promoting lethargy or monotony, and ultimately you will get up and go. And that is why it says when the number of objects increasing, materiality and then mental objects happen, you have to go prepared. When and where mind is ready, when and where mind is mature, when and his mind is about to diversify, objects happens. So you have to have the positive thinking, now not on the mentality, physically. Now I am going to see the mentality, the mental coloration. The lethargic nature, discouraged nature can happen. So it is something accidental you met with someone like. So still you can continue. But if the lethargic is working properly, you will get up and go, you will discourage. That means you are forgetting about your object, forgetting about the materiality. You are listening to the visitor you met on the way. This is what samsara. You don't know where are you going, whatever everything happen, you are completely become a different person, and you forget about your primary object. You forget about your the basic intention. That is, so much our mind is cheating us. So much our mind is perverted. So remember, so is this lethargy and discouragement is disturbing my walking? No. Walking is materialistic part, mental part. And imagine if you can have another 5 minutes or 3 minutes, walking as well as lethargy, walking as well as discontent. That is the way you are improving. That's the way you are advancing. That's the way you are diversifying. So let the mindfulness to diversify. This is not a distraction. This is not a bad omen. This is a good omen. Go prepared. Next time they will not come, but some other will come. Still do, rather than give up the game. And you may see, day by day, the tolerance, capacity is increasing. So explanation is good, but what you have done is after 50 minutes giving up is not appreciable. Next time try at least few minutes, and then you will see it is not impossible. And ultimately the few minutes will be slowly catching. That is how it is. At the beginning it is painfully slow, but if you endure it, that is not so painful or sour in taste as and when you proceed. Is that all?
No, Swami wants to say, this is that complex question. Sorry, there is another one. Walking and sitting meditation. Most Venerable Bhante. Walking meditation. I start walking by noting left and right, and after a few steps, I am able to walk through the path without noting, but can see in my mind the movements of my feet. I know during the turning point that I am turning, and do not lose the cycle. As I turned, I know whether I am keeping the left foot or right foot on the next lap. During turning, I know how many steps I took to do that. At times my mind gets a different thought, but within 2 to 3 steps, I get to know that I am thinking and soon come back to the walking. I am able to walk 1 hour continuously like this. Appreciate your valuable guidance.
Yeah, so that two things appear to be. One thing is thought, other thing is the walking posture to the turning posture. So both of them are set questions like you have to expect it. So first at the beginning, often for many, you can some or the other can maintain the balance of mindfulness while you are pacing up and down. But when you are turning, your posture change. And the complication happens. So it is not a mistake, it's a extra exercise the Buddha planned. So if you go prepared, now I am going to turn and be attentive, Just like you are going to take your car from your highway or motorway to the exit, you have to understand, you have to think about how to prepare for the exit. You have to mark the exit, and the speed must be reduced. You can see you have to be careful of your track as well as the vehicle in front and behind. And otherwise, you are in trouble. So likewise, this is walking, and then you are going to take exit or going to take some change in your posture. And there you know it. So the day you go prepared, it will not be much of a complicated thing. That preparedness is a kind of a capacitator, or it's a resourceful thing. That preparedness is what you call the diligence. That you call vigilance. Sometimes it has been interpreted as mindfulness. Always be on the ball. No resting. Resting means defilement. So when you keep on turning, the turning pebbles never gather moss. If you stagnate, it gets rusted and moss come into being. So when you are turning, it is happening. So therefore thoughts also, and the turning, of course, it is an expected thing, but the thoughts are unexpected guess. So when it is happening, my simple answer is, still if you know I am not sitting, if you know as far as you know I am not lying down, I am not standing, that means meditation is intact. Mindfulness is intact. Be very, it's compromise for that kind of very flat level mindfulness, and let the other thing happen, still you know I am walking. In sitting also, 1001 things happen. But as far as if you know I am not walking, I am sitting, well and good. Mindfulness is intact. And with that sympathy only, one day you can develop this diversified kind of mindfulness, specialized kind of mindfulness. First you must compromise for the posture. Just I am walking. So there is no much of a blocking thing. Take this as a challenge and continue. Yes, we are going for this complicated question.
Yes, sir. This person has probably had various types of meditation experiences, and so she's bringing them to bear in this question. I asked her to try and give detailed information on what she is actually experiencing. So she has done that, and separately there is also the question. Okay?
We'll start with the question and see if necessary we go for the details.
Okay. She gives a description on walking, sitting, and I think day-to-day activities. All right? Actually, my problem is all the three types of meditation: sitting, walking, observing day-to-day activities. I've suddenly got the idea that all these things are the effect of the causes, Hetapala Dharmaya, Bhava, Sakas, Bhava, restructured, so they are impermanence and gives dukkha as well as nothing, a soul or a physical thing. Please explain kindly these ideas spontaneously coming to the mind, and are such thoughts suitable or not? Please give the instructions to go ahead in my meditation program.
So when it is happening that spontaneous ideas happen, still if you are mindful in your primary object, good. If these spontaneous ideas carry you for a trip and disturbing mindfulness, it is bullshit. It's distraction. They are mind-made. They are distraction. So therefore, whatever thing happens, don't worry. If it is promoting mindfulness, still you are very closely observe your primary object for longer time, well and good. If the thoughts are going to take sending you kites and this and cock and bull stories, then that is useless. So I would like to ask that particular person, is this kind of cause and effect relationship or things are happening, is it facilitating your meditation or facilitating your mindfulness or facilitating your primary object? Then good. If it is not, if she is not happy to come, no problem.
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මගේ ගැටලුව මම හැම වෙලේම භාවනා කරද්දී මට ආලෝක සංඥාව වගේ එනවා. එතකොට
ඔය තව එකක් ඔය කතා කරන්නේ. දැන් මේ කියපු එකට අපි බයමු. මේ කියලා තියෙන විදිහට ඔය කල්පනා වෙන දේවල් භාවනාවට තවන්න පහසුවක් වෙනවද නැත්නම් එන්නෙන භාවනාව අවුල් කරනවද කියලා?
ඒක මට හිතෙනවා දියුණුවක් කියලා.
දියුණුවක් නම් තමන් ඉන්න ඉරියව්වට තමන් කරන අරමුණට වැඩි වෙලා හිත තියන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. එහෙම ගතියක්ද තියෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මේ කල්පනාව දිගේ යන ගතියක්ද තියෙන්නේ?
කල්පනාව දිගේ යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක ඉබේම වගේ මේ දැන් මේ in breath out breath
ඒකත් එක්ක ඉන්නවනම් හොඳට බලන්න ඔය කල්පනාව දිදී ඒකට හොඳට ලං වෙලා සමීප වෙලා ඒකේ සටහන් ඒකේ ආකාර ඒකේ වෙනස් වෙන හැඩතල ගති භාව ස්වභාව හොඳට බලන්න. ඔය පිටිපස්සේ එන දේවල් උදව්වක් නම් මේක පහසුවෙන් දකි පිම්බි මේ ආස්වාස් ප්‍රස්වාසී විස්තර. මේක කරදරයක් නම් අරක බලන්න දෙන්නේ නැතුව ඒ ආපෝ හිතවිලි ලොකු වෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. ඒක නම් පොල්ලට ලොකු වලක්. එහෙමනම් ඉස්සලා තියෙන අඟට වැඩිය පස්සේ කන ලොකු වෙලා. ඉස්සලා ආපු කනට වැඩිය පස්සේ අඟ ලොකු වෙලා. එතකොට අඟ කපන්න වෙනවා. ඒක මට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ කරන කෙනාටයි තේරෙන්නේ මේ හිතවිලි වාසිදායක නම් අරමුණේ සුවදතාවය වැඩි වෙයි. සමීප භාවය වැඩි වෙයි. උත්සන්න හොඳට පෙනේ. ඉතින් මේකේ අරමුණ ගැන මොනවත් ලියලා නැහැ. මොකද්ද භාවනා කරන අරමුණ කියලාවත් ලියලා නැහැ.
Okay, details I have given.
So whatever may be, if you can see these thinking, these kind of interpretation and inferences, if it is helpful, your association with your primary object will be increased. Very immediate, very sappy, very juicy. And instead, if you are going on thinking about this proliferation and forget about the primary object, don't promote it. It's a clear sign, it's a distraction. එහෙම කියනකොට පැහැදිලි වෙනවද නැත්නම්?
ඔව්. එහෙයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
That was the last written question, Venerable Sir.
15 minutes more. We have, if there are any other questions to raise to the audience.
Venerable Bhante, I'm confused because on one side there is this mind telling stories which I shouldn't take seriously and making dramas, and on the other side I shouldn't indulge in self-mortification. And so when I'm about to take a decision, finally I don't know anymore how to make decisions, because if I say there's a problem, I have to change something, I can say, oh, you're just making a drama. And if I stay in the situation, I can say, oh, that's self-mortification. So I'm kind of confused now.
So if I ask the question, if you do walking meditation, day by day, can you be with this walking posture in a developing way, or these kind of questions come and disturbing your walking?
they do disturb, but not always.
Not?
Not always.
Yeah, so is there a trend of increasing your touch with the leg rather than this contemplation and thinking or self-mortification, whatever may be? If it is increasing, you have to be so patient that little increase is the only answer. You will never get rid of them, 100%. More and more you go with, and more you familiar with the walking, they will be slowly reduced. Don't worry about that as far as you know walking, as far as you know sitting, and sitting also see how many thought moments you can be happy with your posture. You can be happy with your balanced sitting. If it is increasing, recovery is there. Mindfulness is gathering.
And just letting go of the question for the moment and of the decision I would like to take.
No, don't entertain question, entertain the primary object, entertain the mindfulness. As far as you are entertaining question, you are on the evil side. You are facilitating, you are fertilizing. So no one is doing, only you do. Because everyone is having these kinds of questions. So that's why we say that midst of all the kind of negative things, we take neutral, verifiable, simple object and apply mind as much as possible. If it is catching, that's it.
Thank you.
Bhante, my question is that I find walking meditation much easier to do, and sitting meditation is still a torture for me. When I started walking meditation earlier, I just only could feel the roughness, but now I can feel the hip bones turning, the thigh bone, the knee connected and everything. And after about 15 to 20 minutes, I feel inner coolness. I feel just like as if I have peppermint inside my whole body. It's really cooling effect. And I tend to do walking more than sitting. How can I balance the both?
So when if I am to draw, draw your attention to the sitting, it's torturing. So while it is in torturing, are you mindful or you are not?
Mindful. Everything I'm aware.
So which one you want from this retreat?
I want to do walking.
You need mindfulness. Why the walking or sitting? Walking is one kind of mindfulness, sitting is one kind of mindfulness. In the walking, left leg, right leg. In sitting, torturing. So if it is mindfulness is increasing, torturing it good. So that's why yesterday whole talk, we were talking, the mind is asking pleasure principle. Instead meditation give torturing. Because the first truth, noble truth is truth of suffering. So do you think that we can go to the truth of suffering through cheese and butter and jam and kind of thing?
No.
No. It's unbearability, irritation, fault finding, and that indicates very good, clear, very positive sign. And the next thing, when the torturing happens, mindfulness will never leave you, even if you ask to leave. That's the beauty of the pain. When the pain is there, you cannot be unmindful. When the breath is there, unmindfulness, forgetting can happen. But if the pain is there, ask mind to please get out and go and see somewhere else and past and the future or the person. Never. So that is why only for the advanced yogis, the Buddha recommends feelings. At the beginning, the body posture. Once the body posture achieved, only the feelings happen. Torturing, irritation, all the kind of. So they are clear indication you are here now. More vividly, more diligently, immediately. So try to live one split second more. Don't keep on torturing you. When the torturing happens, don't try to look at it in a bad way. Just try to see this indication, the clear mindfulness, steadfast mindfulness. How many thought moments I can be? If it is excruciating, if it is unbearable, yes, adjust. Otherwise, see. Don't just live by mere face value of the torturing. Because in our life we have underwent so much of difficult things. Not for Nibbana, for this bloody shit. But in the Nibbana we have to go further, and torturing is a very clear sign. So that's why Mahasi Sayadaw it says, if you go through that kind of a torturing, other side is insight knowledge. Without going through a torturing, no insight knowledge. And Upandita Sayadaw says, whenever the torturing happens in the meditation, it's a good omen, that you are about to advance. So if you give up and go, that means you are giving up and go the Nibbana, the blessing, the insight knowledges. So you are the very person. Things are there. You have to read the precursor, you have to read the sign and understand. Day by day you have to accustom yourself or be prepared. Go again and again, then there is a kind of a immunity, there is a kind of a hardening, there is a kind of a familiarization. Ultimately mindfulness gather the momentum, and this torturing become tangible or palatable, or you can handle it easily. So therefore no meditation technique as such, but your mindset must be prepared, not to tackle all the torturing, but day by day, little by little. Do you think we have capacity to go 1 split second more? Or
Yes.
yeah, that's the only part. You must invest day by day and regular practice.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Anyone else?
Yes, Bhante. In some of my sessions, I find the mind will be obsessed by nivaranas. So maybe, for example, maybe 90% of the time, the mind is obsessed with thoughts of ill will, or if I'm very sleepy, the mind's maybe in sloth and torpor for 90% of the time. And I might go for, say, 5 minutes where mindfulness is completely lost. And then maybe it will come back, and I'll be very keenly aware of rising and falling. I'll be very much with it. And I'll try my best to stay with it. And maybe for 30 seconds I'll be with it. And then mindfulness will be completely lost again for another 5 minutes. My question is, lately I thought I would change strategies. I just had a misgiving that when I'm having sessions that are like that, where 90%, 95% of the time mindfulness is lost, I had a misgiving that I was fertilizing the nivaranas. I was fertilizing the hindrances, and I thought it might be best to get up and go, do something else, rather than continue with the session. So that's basically my question. Sometimes I find myself with some doubts whether I should continue the session or whether that would just be fertilizing the hindrances.
So in this series, of course, we have to take this model. I'll take it briefly. The Buddha says, non-meditators, people unacquainted with this noble people, noble teaching and noble practice, they are indulging senses. That is karma guna. And no one's happy, and it is leading to bad habits, bad health, mental and physical. So some people understand by feeding sensuous pleasure, you never be satisfied. And what is the answer before going to the deathbed, before going to old age and sickness? And that is how some people renounce. And many lay people, they think after renunciation, everything will be sorted out. But luckily or unluckily, you are already a renounced person. And you know after renouncing, you are not indulging seeing objects, hearing, smelling, touching, and bodily tactile and thinking, but you go and close your eyes, no sounds, or not listening, indulging, not smelling, not tasting, but only the body, no kama guna, but kama sanya. Kama sanya is the Nissarana. And now kama sanya never go by itself. The Buddha says you have to replace it with rupa. Rupa is rising and falling, in breath and out breath, or left leg and right leg. So you have to understand kama guna. And kama guna is replaced by kama sanya. Kama sanya will be replaced by rupa. Rupa means primary object. And ultimately rupa also will be replaced by rupa sanya. We are not talking at for the moment. The point I am making is, when compared with kama guna, kama sanya is better. Do you agree?
Yes.
So then if you are doing it the Nissarana, it is better than killing, stealing, sexual misconduct and lying.
Yes.
Yeah. So that means now you are not in Nissarana level. You are not at the kama guna level, not transgressional level, obsessional level. So obsessional level you have to understand our natural thinking never knows the ways and means how to replace this kama sanya with the rupa. That's the Buddha. Buddha will come and say, okay, fill as much as possible with rupa, or breath, or rising and falling, or if you are walking left leg or right leg, even if you get 1 split second, it's a great achievement. That means you are not only given up kama guna, now you achieved kama sanya also, because you know my breath, my attention is in the breath. In breath, out breath. And if you advance, you can see in breath is different from out breath. The beginning is different from the middle. Likewise, you see little bit of in breath and out breath. So you are more and more, if you can facilitate it. So much so, the kama sanya, the nivaranas will be reducing. But your question is, your speed or proportion is not happy, not up to your mark. But invariably it says you already know 5% of your time you can be with the rupa or object. Agreed?
Well, I still have, like, for example, with the, I have some doubts still in my mind. Just, for example, with the sloth and torpor, it seems like if I'm just slumped over for, most of the session, I just wonder if my time would be better spent doing something active, so that, let's say, commonly in the afternoon session at 1:30, commonly I have, not every time, I try my best to fight, and sometimes I win, but sometimes it feels like I'm fighting a losing battle. And I think my time would be better spent if I go do something active to activate my mind. Then maybe next time my body will get used to being awake at that time. Yeah.
And then when you get up, we'll say you are attacked by the sloth and torpor, you feel better to be physically and verbally active, and then you can overcome the sloth and torpor. Or instead you can just be sitting and just observe the sloth and torpor. Out of these two episodes, under what circumstances mindfulness find easier?
Well, usually what happens is I go, if I get up, then I go do another activity, and usually mindfulness is easier during that time. It depends what activity I'm doing. I might be doing some activity which is sort of engaging the mind, where I'm reading or something like this, and then mindfulness is sort of lost then. But then when I come back, mindfulness will be a lot more improved.
So let me put it this way. Now you sit and you feel lethargic, and you instead you see some activity will go. will be better for the mindfulness. Imagine you are getting up now slowly, mindfully and silently. And you can give more accounts, more detail about how the sitting person will get up.
Yeah.
And got up person will go for walking or working. So if you can look at it, if you can observe it, if you can take it as object of your meditation, do you consider this also as within 95% or within 5%?
That's part of mindfulness, if I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And I do take an effort to maintain mindfulness during that time, and usually it's I have higher percentage.
Yeah.
Better mindfulness.
So if I am to give more positive signs, imagine you are walking sloth and torpor less, and other hindrances can happen. So their mind is active, and therefore you may have more percentage of mindfulness than sitting in walking meditation, or get kind of a vata or duty for the Buddha or whatever maybe you like it, and do it mindfully for the sake of mindfulness. So likewise, don't bound by the posture or the primary object, just to keep the mind mindful, and then you may find your problem may be basically in sitting, others who may be faring well. If it is so, you have to facilitate it. Little bit of active thing, and whenever necessary, when your mind is ready to go and sit, go. Being a monk, you can adjust your timetable little and give, everything what I am going to emphasize is, whatever the posture, whatever the objective, the mindfulness is facilitated, that's what you have to promote. And Nivaranas or obsessions, it's always, by talking them, you are fertilizing them. Instead, take refuge of a matter or object, or primary object, we can say technically. Apply mind as much as possible to the primary object. So the Upanishad used to say, if you have a bottle of scent or eau de cologne, and inside you see the smell is there, of course it is good. But anyway, if you wish to get rid of that air, very difficult. He says, if you can fill water, then air will replace. But being it is a very tiny mouth, very difficult to put water. What you can do is very carefully, one drop by one drop you can fill it. Or you can put a wick and let the water flow in. Amount of water will indicate replacement of air. So like as you don't worry about the internal air, your concern is put to one drop and another drop. So much so, the bad air, good air will be replaced. So that's why one thing at a time. Very simple thing. And increasing. For that, we have ways and means. We have enthusiasm. We have motivation. And if you are going to talk about distractions, I am telling Marapakkika. Marapakkika means you are on the evil side. No one can help because your mind is always talking about this thing. Not that they are not available. They are available. Don't talk about. Talk about yesterday only 5%, today 5.5%, 6%, 6.5%, like slowly increasing. And that is energizing.
That's right. But there is some benefit in talking, insofar as talking about it now to you. You've given me a good answer, which has settled to my doubts.
Yeah. At least now you are smiling. Bloody fool. Smile. Free of charge. So all the people are talking about suffering. So at least one person must be there just to laugh it off. And in Sinhala we call Sinasi Taravanna. When you laugh, you become fat. With good digestion, good sleeping, all the kind of thing. You see that wherever you go, people are talking, government is bad, and the environment is polluted, and the world is warming up, and then the tension is growing. And they are very rich people. No any happiness. I am just a bumpkin, coming from village, and everything is hilarious, and everything is positive, everything is catching, and everything is advancing. So, I throw parties everywhere. Mine is not yet contagious. So when I was sitting with Achan Brahm, I told him, Bhante, you are contagious. Whenever you go there, people are starting, they're happy. So I told that because you are always mindful. Then he said, no, I am happier very nicely. Then I told, you was very beautiful earlier, now you are too fat. Everyone start laughing. Because he's always try to... I am giving a very simple example. It's amazing. He went to Canada for the conference. I know the place he put up. And he was carrying just a shoulder bag only. 10 days. I carried the 22 kilos, still it is not enough for me. And the person accommodated told Bhante, I don't know how he is managing with this robe even. Where he can wash it. He's running from conference to conference. Talk to talk. Every time people are chasing behind him because he is a happy person. It's contagious. Wherever he goes, he can't find anything wrong. Everything is correct. It's very beautiful. So therefore, we being monks, try to find a reason to be glad under any circumstances. Oh, everything is to be glad. You know Pollyanna? Did you? Pollyanna? The novel?
Yes, I read.
Yeah. So always read Pollyanna. Very poor girl. And make the whole village laughing. Well, the whole village positive. And ultimately she become contagious. Every people met up with happy.
But if somebody just abandons themselves to laughter, then they lose mindfulness.
Pardon me?
If somebody abandons themselves to laughter, then they lose mindfulness.
Somebody abandoned?
If somebody abandons themselves to laughter, just lets themselves laugh, then they lose mindfulness.
No. No, there is no such thing. And when Jnanaponika says, mindfulness is so credible, it will never deprive you. Always with you, even at your deathbed. It can go to the next life also. All the other thing incredible. They can run away. This mindfulness is so credible. If you believe, sleep today, get up on tomorrow morning and see, you can see the continuity. You can get fainted. Wake up and you can see the mindfulness. Mind will be distracted and again wake up, again you are mindful. Mind will never leave you. So far you in your life, in your samsara, you never believe mindfulness, you believe other luxuries. You believe other unwanted things, trivial things, so they are depriving you. But mindfulness never. And it make use other things and ultimately make the life very beautiful. Life become very aesthetic. Life become electric. Life become then and there. So childlike. So that is the doubt you are having, I think. I felt for the last trip, no one is ready to accept mindfulness as the only and one and the only way for liberation. The Buddha profoundly he says, Ekaino ayam bhikkhave maggo. Sattanam visuddhya, soka pariddavanam samadikkamai, dukkha domana satthakamai, nyaya sadhikamai, nibbanasa satchikiriyai. That is, mindfulness is the one and the only way for the purification of the being. Leave aside the other benefits. But how often we be mindful, instead we are complaining this and that. So therefore, be mindful and Even if you are in 95% in nivaranas or in obsession, as far as you know it, that's another function of mindfulness. So you have to say you are more than 100% mindful now. The 95% also you know, you are not with the sensuous pleasure or sex pleasure. You are in the sense notion, perception. It's kama sanya. It is better than directly you are touching with killing, stealing and kind of thing. Because this is not transgressional, this is obsessional, it's better. So I don't know whether the audience is ready to accept. As far as we are living in obsession, there's a reason to be glad because we are not in transgressional. Otherwise we don't know. Obsession in that sense good. Nivaranas are good. Without replacing Nivarana, you can never go to the Rupa. Therefore, first you have to understand the worst thing. The most detrimental thing is transgressional. In order to remove the transgress, you have to appreciate obsessional. And then only you can go to the other. So if you hate obsessional, where are you? Not on that world, not on this world, and you are very slippery. Enough for the day. No. So we have taken about 10 to 15 minutes more. So that means we have around 45 minutes for walking meditation, and after that we will be meeting as usual at 3 o'clock. Thank you very much for the participation.